G'day, it's Duke Stefan here. I want to do a quick little video review of a fight between Duke Alaric and Master Iento. And in this video, I want to particularly pay attention to an action that Duke Alaric is doing with his hand. And it's subtle, but very effective. So we've got two little spots here that we're going to look at. So the first spot is here. So let's just play this. Here we go. So nice solid leg shot there. I'll just back it up and see if you can spot what he does to cue for that shot. So if you, well, actually, let me watch it one more time and we'll watch it at quarter speed, which I think is useful. So he steps in, he really gets his range. He's excellent at finding his range. It's a lot of little action in response to the threat that Iento's presenting. And then you see it there. He flicks the hand forward, which throws the tip out towards Iento, and then he pulls it back because Iento is reacting to the tip coming this side, that he's actually planted himself a little bit this way, and he leaves that leg exposed. So let's just watch this frame by frame. So a little bit of positioning. Here's the hand going forward. Look how that happens. There is no tension in that hand. And if there is, it's just a little bit of a flick. So it's my lens. So if I put that here, it's just this action with the wrist. Yeah. So if I can sort of spin my body or spin from the wrist, little angle, big angle, if I do a little action with my hand to spin the weapon, this is all nice and loose, the tip spins quite a bit. You know, you can actually get quite a bit of tip roll on that. And so that's what he does here. He just throws that hand forward, which throws the tip without committing his hand at all to the action, throws the tip up nice and high to present a threat. And then he pulls the hand back, which then causes the tip to trail back around. And by the time Iento has noticed the change in direction, he's already committed the shield and the sword up for the defense here, and he's actually too slow to get that back. So let's just look at the follow through. So sword goes forward, the tip goes up, big threat high. Iento sees it, pushes up. He actually plants a little bit too much here, so that's a bit of a fault on Iento's side. Plants into that defense, shields come up, realizes far too late, and it's just wide open, and you can see how open that leg is. So that's a really beautiful little fake that he has just thrown there with just that. But you can see it's not just, you're not going to necessarily be able to, maybe you can walk out there, flick the hand and do it. There's a whole lot of other stuff that he's done in the midst of that. There's a little bit of reaction, very slow creep forward. He's actually got himself nicely positioned just on the edge of his range, but with a little bit of a step. It's not much of a step at all. I think, does he step or is he lean? Yeah, so a bit of a step there, and it is a wide step, but he knows that he's going to be safe. But he is absolutely, look how far he's gotten range and where that lands in that beautiful upper percussion point section of the sword. Really great shot. And that's all just from this beautiful little hand flick. Love it. So just a little action that you can take in. It's the power of having a loose hand. I love it. So I'm going to just, I'll speed this back up again. Back to normal. We'll just skip forward. Oh. I'm going to skip into the next fight. And won't worry about that. Sure. So we're going to look at this engagement here. And I want you to watch what he does here as well. So just a lot of people would call that a really clean shotgun, but there's so much happening before he even throws that shot. So let's just have another look at it at speed. All that jostling for position. Gets the line. See how he shifted his feet there to change that line? Look at the difference in that. It looks like a reaction to Iento, but it's a beautiful positioning, right? A little kick, and it's a double kick here, little double step, boom, boom, little roll of the shoulder. So let's watch this at quarter speed. Love it. All right, and again, Look at the hand. Look at what happens in this step with the hand. The hand does another one of those little rolls, which makes it look like it's coming as an offside shot, and then just casually rolls back out. And at that point, the defense is already committed here. He's lifted up and he just weaves it. I mean, this is an amazing shot because he's actually weaving it through quite a nice little spot. Perfect, right on there, and beautifully on edge, which is great. So we don't have to be embarrassed about anything. But look at this. So let's go frame by frame. Actually go back to this footwork positioning, because this is, you'll see the way that he's actually spun his body to present the shoulder and close that range, right? So we'll just go back. Stepping out, disengaging, looking all casual, comes in, sword foot across, gets that shield foot back. He's now sword foot forward with that footwork. So he went from shield foot forward and he's now presented into sword foot forward. And he's done it in a way that hasn't presented a threat, because he's actually moved and stepped onto the side, onto his sword foot, and then brought his shield foot behind. Beautiful technique there. So now, little step just to close the range, but it's not an extended step. It's well within the sort of realms of a normal step for him. So he's actually not presenting a physical threat there. Then the lean that takes the little thrust, the little throw out to the offside. And at that point, the gap has been created in Ianto's defenses here. And as that shield comes down, it's just perfectly positioned for the sword to weave through. So beautiful shot, but again, orchestrated from a very similar action, in that sense of just a very casual rotation of the hand from the wrist. So that's a little technique to play with and work on, and see where you can get your body mechanic to help you do that action, keeping your hand nice and loose on the hilt of your sword, so that you can use your body or your wrist. You can even do it from the elbow if you want, but it's nice from the wrist and it's nice from the body, keeping all of this tight. If I do this and let that wrist rotate, it really looks like the sword's moving a lot, but actually nothing is committed physically at all. And you can really kind of manipulate that. And the beautiful thing is you can change tempo, and you'll see in there that Alaric changed tempo a little bit. So it's a nice little casual roll, and then it can be a nice pop. Casual roll, drop to the leg, casual roll, punch to the snap. So you can change that tempo as soon as you've got the commitment of their defenses. Great little shot, something to practice. See you on the next one.